Stu Baylor took the first win of the season in his home state of South Carolina in round number 1. We return to the sands of Florida for round number 2 down in Palatka. Stu Baylor stands poised and ready to keep the ball rolling, but plenty of competition. Everybody wants a win. GNCC on MAV TV starts now.
Are you ready to go? GNCC Racing!
Welcome to round number 2 of the 2023 Grand National Cross Country Racing Series presented by Specialized, an AMA National Championship. We are here in Palatka, Florida for this, the Moose Racing Wild Boar GNCC. And as always, we begin with our Specialized race recap. Round number 1, a lot of excitement to say the least. Johnny Gerard coming out strong, grabbing that hole shot. He had some company. Good drive right there by the old Wiley veteran Josh String. Ricky Russell in the mix. But boy, as the race wore on, the cream of the crop rose to the top, as they say. Great racing all around by several guys out there, but once this thing got going, it was the Stu Baylor show out in front. How about this pass, though, by Ben Kelly on Ricky Russell. Tries it right there, unable to get it, finds a line, makes the pass. Couldn't have slid a credit card between the two of them. Absolutely impressive riding by the 530 factory KTM of Ben Kelly on the move. But again, as we said, as the race wore on, the 514 monster, or excuse me, the 514 Rocky Mountain ATV MC Teely Energy KTM found himself out front and brought it home for the win. Some great battles there by Ben Kelly, as well as Ricky Russell. They finished in the 2 and the 3 spot. But again, this man right there, he got the battle scars to prove it. The jersey's ripped on the right arm. Really going all out in the home state of South Carolina. Baylor just a tough guy to beat in South Carolina, that's for sure. This round, though, is special, to say the least. Last few years, boy, we had a lot of injuries in round 1. Didn't have that this year. I think everybody coming back here for round 2 today. Taking a look at that top 10 overall. Again, Baylor taking the win, Kelly taking second, and Ricky Russell rounding out the box in third. Caught up with Baylor after the race.
Man, it's awesome. I told myself I wasn't going to loop the bike because now I have to be conscious of the budget. But the crowd was wild today, the South Carolina crowd. Even if I win again, I gotta pay attention to the budget. So this is the last one.
Stu, how's it feel going into 2023 with the first win?
It's good. You know, it's been stressful the last couple months. I've been on one. It's been tough. I mean, it's not coming in. We're not getting the support that we thought we could. A lot of parts not in. So we're scratching to get by. If it weren't for the Rocky Mountain guys, like luckily Rocky's able to carry just about everything in stock. So we've been able to float with those guys. Huge shout out to them. And you know, we're wearing a lot of hats right now, but to be running a training facility, training kids, running a team, racing, I think we did pretty good.
Well, we fast forward to today, 3 hours of racing, one of the toughest rounds of the season. No doubt about that. The sand in Florida, just kind of that one-off, you know, not a terrain that we race really the rest of the year. Little sample of it up in South Carolina at the Camp Coker Bullet. But nonetheless, here we go. All Balls Racing Hole Shot Award up for grabs. How about it? The 407 Rocky Mountain ATV MC Teely Energy KTM of Ben Nelco. The 407 grabbing the hole shot right there and keeping that early lead. Let's see how the young Ben Nelco answers to the pressure. Boy, regardless of where he finishes, I got to say, great start for him. Craig DeLong now in the 2 spot. Ricky Russell in 3rd. There's your top 3. Jordan Ashburn back there in about the 5 spot. And how about that? Stu Baylor, Ben Kelly, both buried about mid-pack. 2 of the heavy hitters in the XC1 for sure. All right, back down to the start line for the XC2 250 Pro class. Steel City Men's Clinic. Got a hole shot up for grabs right here. And that's going to be the 82. That's Chris Canning. Followed real closely right there by Jonathan Johnson in the 2 spot. Well, how about it for Chris Canning? Kind of in that same realm as Ben Nelko. Got some underdogs grabbing hole shots. They're only underdogs when they do it the first time, maybe the first couple. After that, well, it becomes just another day at the office. But great start for Canning. And pretty good start for Jonathan Johnson as well. XC2 class, Stephen Nichols in the 3 spot, Gus Reardon in 4th. XC2 class very stacked this year. I think when you look down through the list of riders, honestly, there's probably 10 guys out there any given Sunday can grab a win. LoJack Cycle Sales Hole Shot Award up for grabs here in the FMF XC3, the 125 class. Go get it, Toby Cleveland. The 213 of Toby Cleveland, picking up right where he left off in round number 1. Took a convincing win at the Big Buck GNCC and looking to do the same here in Palatka at the Wild Boar GNCC. Back out front with our leaders in the XC1, and it is still Ben Nelko on the throttle, going inside to outside right there. Great start for him. DeLong in 2nd, Russell 3rd. Thad Duvall 4th, Jordan Ashburn 6th, Kelly in 6th. And boy, Baylor still buried pretty deep right there. Grant Baylor toward the back of that XC1. We are off and rolling. Boy, new season, new leader out in front. Ben Nelko, can he hang on? We'll be right back after this. This broadcast of GNCC Racing on MAV TV is brought to you by Specialized. It's you, only faster. And RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready. And welcome back to GNCC here on MAV TV. The Moose Racing Wild Boar GNCC. Ramp it, skip it, what you want to do. GNCC, hey, more than just the pros, more than just racing for points. We've got fun to be had. Not saying that the racing's not fun. It certainly is. But nonetheless, when we're down in Palatka, Florida, shout out to Fuel Ministries. They always come and kind of co-sanction with Team Faith. They bring out the pit bike. I don't know what you want to call it. I can't remember. They had a name for it. It was real catchy, and it's escaping me right now. But a nice little time trials right here on the pitters. You got a pit bike? Bring it. Run it. You don't have a pit bike, but you want to participate? They got you covered. A few pit bikes locked and loaded down there for some riders. Love that. Love that. Got the caution tape hanging off the helmet. I mean, safety third, at least top 5. That's what we're seeing right here. Again, just really, really cool that we're able to do that. 407 Ben Nelko. Boy, got to give this guy some love. No doubt about that. The 407 leading the XC1 Pro class. As I mentioned prior to commercial, there goes Craig DeLong in the 2 spot. Different line choices. Love this. Love to see that right there. Certainly plenty of options. But boy, Ben Nelko, part of that Rocky Mountain Teely Energy KTM team that you've got Bubs Tasha, you got Ben Nelko, you got, of course, Stu Baylor. Stu Baylor still going to work here in this Wild Boar GNCC. But again, for Ben, hey, can he hang on for 3 hours out front, keep these guys at bay? I don't know. I don't know that that's going to be possible, but nonetheless, it's going to be a huge takeaway from him, a huge confidence boost out in front. And he's getting it done right now, so let's give him credit where credit's due. Into the FMF PowerPoint we go. Ben Nelko leading the way out in front in the 407. Love to see it. The versatility of the XC1 Pro class, just second to none. There is Craig DeLong into the FMF PowerPoint right now. Craig having a great ride. The 342 Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Craig DeLong. He had a decent round in round number 1. Finished with a 5th place, but I think after the end of last season at Ironman, he said, hey, I'm not just ready to battle for podiums, I'm ready to battle for wins. So I think he talked to Craig DeLong coming into round 2. While he's happy he had a decent result, I don't think he's happy in the sense of the word. I think he wants more. He wants to see himself on the box, and I think this is the season we see Craig DeLong grab an overall win. I'm just saying, I got a good feeling about it. So we'll see if he can make it happen. Tough go for Trevor Bollinger. Had to pull out of round number 1, and hey, he's out there racing. That's what's important. And how about this? Craig DeLong, your new leader, out in front. Here is Ricky Russell, the 212 Ampro Yamaha in the number 2 spot. So we've got our first lead change here. Let's see where Ben Nelko's at now. Jordan Ashburn, the defending champ. You know, Ashburn kind of in that same boat as Craig DeLong. Cannot be happy with the result of round number 1. The defending champ, he finished in the 4 spot, so just off the box. But boy, Mr. Consistency, we are used to seeing him get it on the box. So maybe today he gets that turned around. Craig DeLong still out front. Ricky Russell in the 2 spot. New team for Ricky Russell here this year, the Ampro Yamaha team. New old team, if you will. Oh, look at that battle right there. Different line choices by everybody. It looked like Jordan Ashburn should be hanging on to that 3 position. But just that coming at you like a freight train. And this, I mean, as fast as it looks, as you're watching it on MAV TV, I got to tell you, in person, it almost doesn't really even do it justice. These guys are hauling the mail through here, and they run these speeds through the woods as well. It never ceases to amaze me. 342 Rockstar Energy, Husqvarna, Craig DeLong leading the way, blitzing through the sand. Not taken back by those palmettos, just that other added element. What a unique terrain. Now, a lot of the guys, of course, train in the south and have some experience in the sand. Ricky Russell right there still in the 2 spot. Got to hand it to Craig DeLong, working on a bit of a gap right here. We'll see. Jordan Ashburn on that Magna 1 Motorsports Husqvarna still sits in the 3 spot. But boy, we've got some pretty good gaps between the top 3. And here comes the rest of the pack in that XC1 class. Boy, tight battle there. 1, 2, 3-way battle really for 4th. And Nelko, there is Nelko after the early lead. Falls back quite a bit, but nonetheless, boy, great start for him. Top 5, DeLong, Russell, Ashburn, Tyler Medaglia, and Ben Kelly. We'll be right back with more after this. And welcome back to GNCC here on MAV TV. The Moose Racing Wildboard, watching some highlights of the Stasic race. Takes place every Saturday night at a GNCC. If you find yourself at a GNCC, you want to bring the little ones and bring the Stasic. You can have some fun like this. And these kids, again, it's just a fun race, just for fun. But nonetheless, you tell some of these kids that, they're like, yeah, okay, no, this is racing. This is bar banging, wheel to wheel, cutthroat GNCC. I promise you. I mean, they're passionate about it. There's no doubt about it. Shout out to the staff as well. I know these guys put in a hard day's work, and Saturday night. Oh, and see, there we go. Perfect example. Bar banging action. Little Sean Remington Jr. right there. Not even fazed by it. Just keeps going. Keeps it on 2 wheels. But again, Ricky Towery, Griff Cotter, George, those guys, they work their tails off all day long, and this is just for fun. They don't have to go out and do this, but it's good for the kids and the families. And that right there, that is what GNCC racing is all about. Oh, this is unfortunate. Hate to see that. That's a 989, a Thad Duvall right there in the Coastal Racing Factory gas pits.
We're not really sure. Just a little bike malfunction. Just cut out on me, wouldn't start back up. And just had a decent start. Got up with those guys and then had a fall. And then was able to catch back up and felt pretty good. And then just, like a little something's going on we don't really know. So we'll get her fixed and bounce back around 2 and hammer it out.
Well, I hate to see that. A tough break there for Thad Duvall, but nonetheless, hey, he's in one piece. We know he's going to be back battling in a short week's time for Georgia. And here we go with Thad Duvall into the Teely Energy pits. And it's business as usual for Stu Baylor. I may have said Thad Duvall. Business as usual for Stu Baylor. There's the 2-1-2. And Ricky Russell. Boy, if I'm not mistaken, Ricky might be our new leader. We'll have to wait and see. There went Johnny Gerard. There is Craig DeLong, unless we miss somebody. Wondering where Stu Baylor's at in this mix. Now, there's Stu Baylor out in front, so I'm guessing the 514 now is our new leader. And, of course, Stu, after the win at Big Buck, running that reverse plate. So we'll see. There goes the 407 of Ben Nelko. Boy, Nelko just having a heck of a ride. There is the 342 of Craig DeLong, and now we're in another shot with Ricky Russell. There is Ben Kelly, and there is Johnny Gerard. So here we go now. Jordan Ashburn coming through, the #1 Magna 1 Motorsports Husqvarna, the rider coming off that championship season. There goes the 514, so maybe Stu Baylor not our leader. Here we go. The 530, how about that? So the 530 is going to be our leader out in front in this one. Ben Kelly, there is Stu Baylor on screen, rolling through in the 2 spot, and Craig DeLong in the 3 position. The 342 Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, after enjoying the early lead in this one, now falls to the 3 spot. And there is your new leader, the 530 Factory Racing KTM of Ben Kelly, who, you know, keep in mind, coming into this one, not riding 100%. That man's not riding 100% either. The 514 Ampro Yamaha, the 514 Teely Energy KTM of Stu Baylor, not 100%. Got some broken ribs he's dealing with. Ben Kelly, we believe he's refractured that leg, so neither guy 100% right now, and they are leading this race, one of the gnarliest GNCCs of the season. You can't not mention that these guys are not 100%, and yet they're still out there putting in the work. Ricky Russell on screen, the 212 Ampro Yamaha. But boy, this is getting good. Ben Kelly out in front with a bum leg. Can he hang on for a win? We'll be right back. This broadcast of GNCC Racing on MAV TV is brought to you by Specialized. It's you, only faster. And RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready. And here we go. Ben Kelly on screen, the 530 Factory Red Bull KTM. Leading this one out in front. Looks like he's going to bring it home for his first win of the year. A big congratulations in order. Can he keep her on 2 wheels? He certainly can. A fist in the air, a little wheelie. And that'll do it for the 530 KTM of Ben Kelly. His first win in, boy, a long time. That injury he suffered last season that took him out for the duration. This one's got to feel good to come back out. And I got to think, boy, what a difference a year makes. After this one last year, Ben Kelly, not winded. This year, not so much the case. Feeling that one, no doubt about it.
This race is brutal, and man, every year you don't know what to expect, whether your body's gonna hold on or not, because it's a battle of attrition more than anything. It's whether you go fast, slow, try to cruise, it zaps you the same. So yeah, I had a solid race. I was sleeping on the start. It seemed like they went fast, and I didn't even have my finger on the button, but I snuck around like inside, outside, inside, and somehow was like 6th and kind of managed the first 2 laps. Was trying to make passes, but at the same time I was just riding like real smooth, trying to rest my whole body. And man, I'm lucky. I'm happy it wasn't 6 laps. I didn't even see the 2-lap card, and I'm like, oh boy, it's gonna be brutal. But yeah, happy to have a solid ride, put KTM on top, and feels good.
And here comes a 514 Teely Energy KTM of Stu Baylor, who will bring it in for a 2nd place finish here today. And how about that? How's that scripted, man? Look at this.
I was on the struggle bus out there. We've had a really tough time, trying to find the happy median on these bikes. You know, it was a big change and a late change. And, I had a hand surgery late last year, so I wasn't able to start testing until January. And then you kind of get thrown to the wolves. So we're testing as we're racing, and bike was phenomenal at Big Buck, but different here. So we just have to find that happy median. You know, it takes time, but Florida, for the last 3 years, I've had a bike catch fire, I've had a bike ruin a clutch, and then I had a broken neck. So it's one of my favorite tracks. But with that said, I'm happy to come away with a podium and tied for the points. So just gotta get some stuff figured out.
Well, good. Again, couldn't script it any better than this. Ben Kelly with a win, Stu with a 2nd. Stu comes into the win, and now a 2nd. We're tied heading into round 3. Caught up with Craig DeLong as well.
Man, I had a great start for once. And, it was cool to be up front. It's something that I always kind of struggle with, but my mechanic and I, we worked on the starts, and we got them dialed now where the bike starts good. So got out front, like Nelko was leading. He was kind of sprinting away from me, but I was content with my speed. And I come around the corner, he was tagged up in some vines and stuff. So once I got around him, I was like, all right, I think I can get a little gap here. So I just rode in my comfort zone, and it was really smooth. And man, it felt cool to be out front for 2 laps. That was awesome. That was something that I've always kind of dreamt of and wanted to happen. So to check that off, that was cool. So when Ricky and them, they called me, I was a little uncomfortable running their pace. They really picked it up, and just took me a little bit to get picked up that pace. So once I did, it was man, it was good. I felt good there at the end. I'm happy to get on the podium. This place it's gnarly. So yeah, happy to get on the box and be healthy going into Georgia.
Well, taking a look at our Specialized race recap, how about this for Ben Nelko, the 407 Teely Energy KTM, grabbing the whole shot, taking it, making the grown man move on Ricky Russell and Craig DeLong right there, and got to hand it to Nelko. Enjoyed the lead early in this one. Now, didn't end the day in 7th, but still, again, I'm going to sing his praise as a top 10 finish for him, getting some experience out there, grabbing the whole shot, enjoying the early lead. Those are all boxes you want to be checking off at the pro level, and he is doing that. Craig DeLong had a solid day today, put it on the box. I think we expect to see him there, and I'm going to double down and say this is the season we see Craig DeLong go out and grab a win. He's doing all the right things. It's just a matter of putting together that perfect 3-hour race. That is exactly what it takes. Ricky Russell had a solid day going. The 969 of Johnny Gerard, teammate of Ben Kelly. Not too bad of a day for him early in this one. Things did change for him, but nonetheless, as the race continued to develop, it was Ben Kelly leading it out front, Stu Baylor in the 2 spot, Craig DeLong settled in the 3 position, and those 3 really just never looked back. Checkered flag flies. Ben Kelly's first win of the season in epic fashion as he and his rival, Stu Baylor, head into round number 3 up in Georgia with a points lead. We'll see 2 reverse plates in Georgia. That's going to wrap things up for us. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.